Why 7? I mean, why did you choose... Sorry, David, to ask that question of your mum, but why 7?
I didn't set out with the intention, I think I'll have 7 children. I set out and had a child, and then had another child quite quickly after the first child, and then we just, you know, they came along as they came along. You know? There was no great decision to suddenly say, oh, let's have or not have another child.
OK, and just the ages, where does David fit in? What are the ages?
David is the youngest of 7, so I have 39, 36. I apologise if I've got your ages wrong, there's a lot of you. Okay. 33, 30, 23, 18, 12.
Equally, we should ask the question, why 1?
I didn't actively set out to have a child. Eve came along and me and my partner were very happy, and I've always wanted to work. He's always wanted to work, and the decision wasn't financial. It was more to do with the fact I didn't enjoy pregnancy. We were at high risk because I was considered a late mother when I was 34, and that was 8 years ago. So we were at high risk of a Down syndrome baby, which only increases the closer you get to 40 and multiplies significantly after that age. So it was a decision on that basis, really, not to have a child. Finances never entered it. I don't think until you've had a child do you actually realise the cost of raising a child, but it never enters.
Both of you, in a way, are saying the same thing, which I suspect a lot of people, circumstances are the same, which is the notion of thinking it through in advance, you're sort of calculating it, is not part of the equation, but it could be just the way things pan out.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
And what about the financial implications? Because people inevitably think, well, you know, having 7 must be that much more expensive. I mean, what are the financial... David's shaking his head. Go on, you tell us, David.
Go on.
Well, it's not that expensive. I mean, Mum only has to pay for food, and half of it she's eating, so...
There you go, simple.
Well, tell us what it's like, then, I mean, in reality.
Day to day, I would say, actually, there isn't that much difference, really, between having 1, between having 2, 3. Maybe, OK, by the time you've got to 7, then you are talking... I've a large age group, so it's harder to say, you see, because I've never had... say 7 under 11-year-olds sitting down to a table or something like that.
The most you've had at any one time is what, within
about 4 or 5. Well, I mean, I've had 5 at home, you know.
Right.
So yeah. But even then, all at different ages, all different stages of doing things, and you don't focus on it. You know, I'm not saying money is not important. Of course, money is important. You know, money needs to be made, etc., etc. But I don't think anyone says, oh, well, we can't have another baby because, you know...
Do your children, and David, I suppose part of this is to you as well, enjoy the fact? Do they think they're benefiting from the fact of being part of a bigger family than, say, being an only child? I mean, we'll ask your child thinks of this as well.
Yeah, because, like, if you're... I wouldn't know, but when you've got lots of brothers and sisters, like, it's really easy to experience falling out, and you get lots of knowledge, and you're able to overcome it next time you run into it. So.
Well, that's interesting, isn't it? Because, you know, without wanting to fall into cliches, you know, people do suggest that about the only child thing, that they just don't have that sort of backdrop around them.
No, and I think it's right. I mean, Eve, as an only child, does sometimes suffer from a lack of confidence. From not having the sibling groups. I mean, I come from a large family, so does my partner. He's Irish Catholic, so it's a very big family. My sister's my closest and best friend. But, so, yeah, I think it does develop other skills that Eve perhaps doesn't have in terms of interacting, but she does get those skills from school, you know, with after-school club where she socialises with children older. So, you know, I do think that Eve would have loved a brother or a sister, but it was never going to happen.